Everybody, it's Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast, and we got another media war between Robert Griffin III and Ryan Clark. I mean, Ryan Clark is trying to become the Dr. Umar 2.0, it seems. Okay, and Ryan Clark was on the pivot, and he had some words for Robert Griffin III. Because Robert Griffin III had said something about Angel Reese being, she came across as too aggressive, or there was like some kind of alternative intent. How she came at Caitlin Clark after the foul, whatever. So Ryan Clark on the pivot, discussed like, hey, look, man, it seems that I don't think you're having conversations in terms of a black woman's perspective and your household. Ouch. Shots fired. Because we know what they call it, a snow bunny chaser. Dr. Umbar likes to say, snow bunny crisis. That's what Robert Griffin III is on. Is it inbound or out of bounds for Ryan Clark to take that shot? You know what I'm saying? Ryan Clark comes across as pro-black, obviously, okay? And, it was a good conversation because, look, I know people don't like talking about race between, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, but there are some components of that that is the reality of it, okay? And, listen, black people that want to relate to Angel Reese because she's black, and white players, white who don't want to relate to Caitlin Clark because she's white, I got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? You relate to people who look like you. That's natural, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Shouldn't get canceled for that, But I think that I think Ryan Clark just had an issue with Robert Griffin, saying what he had to say about Angel Reese as it relates to that foul, that flagrant foul that I don't think was even a flagrant foul in the first place to happen. Okay, and then now the whole conversation, and for Ryan Clark, ironically, for his show called Pivot's a conversation to his girl, Robert Griffin the third's girl, because she's white, and he talks about how she brings up milk. He used to make these references to milk on social media a lot, right? Post Malone concert with his tall glass of milk. Okay, cookies and milk. All right. Doctors say breast milk is the best milk. Okay. Weird. And I get what Ryan Clark is saying. I'm gonna play the audio of what Ryan Clark had to say. It's a 20-second clip. Take a listen.
When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of...
Yeah, so like I said, it's inbounds, out of bounds. I don't think Ryan Clark obviously likes Robert Griffin III, honestly. And he's not on ESPN anymore. He got fired. All right. And yeah, I mean, look, man, Robert Griffin III, he's okay. Definitely a cornball brother to me. I know Rob Parker got fired from ESPN over a decade ago for saying that he's a cornball brother. And he is, man. He is. He's a cornball at times. The way he came at Stephen A. Smith, I've talked about that. I forgot the situation it was, but he came at him. Oh, it was all about the whole Jackie Robinson and Stephen A. was questioning the administration for I guess they were removing something from some part of some history museum in the DC area or in the Pentagon or something like that as it relates to the Jackie Robinson history and all that stuff. And then now it seems like he's had issue with Angel Reese having aggression instead of it just being her being aggressive for basketball. Now I talked about that and I was like, look, man, Angel Reese coming at Caitlin Clark, you're not gonna win anybody over. There's many people that don't like you just for how you conducted yourself. Has nothing to do with race, okay, but just kind of how you talking about, oh, I don't want to play. We might hold out, you know what I'm saying? The way she dresses and everything, but then doesn't want to be objectified, X, Y, and Z, right? Like a lot of things were a lot like not basketball related. Okay, and then she was getting cooked in that summer league, or not summer league, but the summer, excuse me. That other league that she was in, that 3-on-3 league, whatever it was, missing layups left and right. Where's your focus at? Yada yada yada. Right. All those things be true. But I think Ryan Clark has an issue with Robert Griffin being the mouthpiece. Because should your wife? The debate is, because your wife is white, should you be allowed to be speaking on a black woman? Right. You know, and especially for a guy like RG3. All right, if you look at his dating history, should your dating history matter when you're allowed to speak on certain subjects, right? Who you're with, should you be allowed to, right? And I think from Ryan Clark's standpoint, it's just kind of like, you know, you're not qualified to be speaking with that level of energy, because, you know, like, you know, how do you know the perspective of a black woman, you know, when all you've dated was white women? You know, you're not having those conversations. Kind of fair. If you're going to keep it 100, kind of fair, right? Kind of fair to call it out. All right. Now for Ryan Clark, though, why are you calling down RG3? Right? Ex-employee. He's trying to find a job. All right. Ryan Clark has been known to be a race baiter a lot of times. Okay. I mean, like, he's very articulate. He comes across like very serious, but he's not stupid. Okay. Bringing this up is going to cause a shitstorm. All right. And it's going to get people riled up against you because you're always bringing up race and everything like that. You know, many things can be true, and some of the things he said is not wrong. In a lot of ways, I can understand the point he's coming from for sure. You know what I'm saying? More than I can see the point from RG3's side a little bit. Okay, but you know what? I mean, I think kind of out of bounds to bring his wife up. But it is weird that he's talking because I don't remember these posts, but he brings it up, and the internet is great at finding all these milk related posts, which is very goofy. And praising, you know, you should just be praising your wife. Why you keep comparing cookies and milk, tall glass of milk? You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's like RG3, do you wish you was white? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you are so proud of your white wife and comparing it to a glass of milk, you know, nonstop. It's weird. It's one of those situations where, yeah, you can definitely hate the messenger and not agree with Ryan Clark because you don't like him and he's always race baiting. But at the same time, though, I mean, look at this. You know, it's very weird for RG3. You know what I'm saying? And many people may support RG3 because you know he's on that side of the fence. Okay, and he feels that he's part of a different kind of community. You know what I'm saying? So there's that aspect of it. But I was never really an RG3 fan. But I mean, from Ryan Clark, I like Ryan Clark. He's an ex-Steeler. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel that this is very race baity in a lot of ways, and I think bringing his wife in to this, even though I get it, and the point he's trying to make, out of bounds for sure. You know, man, I don't know if RG3 is responding to this yet. I mean, RG3 had a beef with Stephen A. Smith. Now he's gonna have this new beef with Ryan Clark. I haven't seen RG3's response or looked for it, but I definitely will look forward to hearing what he got to say about it, because he's definitely gonna be defensive of us. But I mean, you can't. But at the same time, I mean, it is weird, goofy behavior to be posting stuff like this and referencing your woman to milk all the time. I mean, it's like a white man's with a black woman, and he's always saying, "Oh, I'm with my chocolate cookie. I'm with my brownie. I'm with my chocolate cake. I'm with my chocolate milk." Non-stop. Like, damn, brother, you got a problem with, why are you always referencing your woman to something chocolate? In this case, always something milk. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, very weird stuff going on, man, as this is the new debate between these guys, these media guys, or this new war potentially brewing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.